Oh my god, it's the molded! Ah! Ah! Here at Umbrella, we're trying to defend the rights of humanity because we're really good and stuff now. Ah! 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 I'm out of ammo. It's a Resident Evil game. You can go away now. Hey guys, it's the Gamer Ghoul with the BloodyBlu Gaming Oubliette, and today we're talking about Resident Evil 7. And guess what? They've put out new content, and it's absolutely free. It's Not a Hero, starring Chris Redfield. So let's dive right in and fight some molded things that look really gross. So Resident Evil 7 was one of my favorite games of last year. It really returned to its roots. It was an old school survival horror game set in a creepy old house. Yeah, there weren't like traditional zombies, but there were some molded creatures, and there was this mysterious family with a hidden secret that you have to uncover throughout the game. If you didn't play it, play this first, and then play the Not a Hero DLC, because Resident Evil 7 was a complete masterpiece in my opinion, and I loved every second of it. So now we got some free content, Not a Hero, which they teased at the end of Resident Evil 7 when you actually see Chris Redfield. And you're like, what? He works for Umbrella now? Umbrella's bad. I guess they're not bad anymore. They kind of loosely explain some documentation of the game, and it's possible I missed something, but from what I gather, Umbrella has decided to be like, oh yeah, you know, what we did was pretty bad. We're gonna, you know, set ourselves in a direction where we're cleaning up and we're helping out, and Chris Redfield is apparently a part of them now, which is really odd and weird, but it works in the weird, mysterious realm of Resident Evil where nothing really quite makes sense. The biggest inconsistency I have is not even him working for Umbrella. It's his face. Like, he looks weird to me. Like, he looks nothing like Chris Redfield. But they've done this in the past with Resident Evil 5. They changed his appearance and made him all jacked up, and he would punch boulders and stuff. So, you know, you gotta go with what they go with. So if you don't know, Chris Redfield has been a part of the Resident Evil series from the beginning. So it's a big deal for hardcore Resident Evil fans to see him come back. And as odd as it is that they've changed his face and he's working for Umbrella now, it still feels like Chris. Now, I will say part of it makes it a little less scary because at this point, you know, Chris has been through all these games. He's seen the most horrid creations of the T-virus and all these horrible bioweapons and all the stuff in part 5 with the crazy creatures and the infected town. So he's really seasoned at this point, and he's almost seen it all. So it's one of those things where it feels less scary because Ethan was kind of unprepared, well, totally unprepared for all this. If you play Resident Evil 7, you know that he was more of an average guy. Chris Redfield's very well put together and has, you know, some backup support, and he has some weapons and a team, and it does take away from the fear factor of it. But they take it in an interesting direction because you're going after Lucas, and they throw in his little saw traps and his weird, you know, booby traps, and you fight some of the molded creatures from the game. And it does provide some interesting content, especially for a free DLC. It was a lot more than I expected. So the things that I liked about Resident Evil 7 still remain. The graphics look great, the sound is great, the voice acting's awesome, and the story is really weird and bizarre and not at all what anyone expected out of a Resident Evil game. So all of that stuff is still really cool. So the gameplay is pretty much what you would expect. Like I said, you have more of an arsenal, especially right up front. You can upgrade your character like in the game. Of course, there's less options. So there's 2 difficulties to start out with, and you unlock a professional mode after you complete it. I think that the game is hard enough. It's as hard as Resident Evil 7 was, but I do think the puzzles are a little bit too easy, and I was able to figure things out way too quickly and progress through it. I think overall it's about an hour and 45 minutes to about 2 hours total of gameplay. So if you have Resident Evil 7, it's pretty much no contest. You have to download this DLC. I mean, especially if you're a hardcore Resident Evil fan, because you have to know what happened to Chris Redfield. So overall, I liked the game. I don't like Chris's face. I think that the enemy types could have been way more varied. But overall, I think they used the core elements that made Resident Evil 7 great, and they presented it in a new tactical package with more weapons and more action. And I think for what it was, I think it totally worked. So I have to give it a 7 out of 10 on the BloodyBlu gaming scale. So to keep up with all things BloodyBlu, check out the Facebook group, check out BloodyBlu.com, check out Devlin's Nightmare Theater, Son of Celluloid, The Gamer Ghoul, and check out all the great things we have by subscribing to our YouTube channel.